This is Lemon's Car Spotting. You post to Instagram with the hashtag Lemon's Car Spotting. We pick the hooptiest.
They are so incredibly terrible.
And which one we want to become a real Lemon's build.
It does car-like things. I've been pushing for one of those in Lemons too, and those are very affordable.
It's Lemon's Car Spotting. You know the deal. Tag them. We'll talk about them. Here's the Lemon's build. Here is the hooptiest. Eric, close your eyes. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
That's the Lemon's build. That's what you're picking. I'm picking the hooptiest. Let's see what we've got. It's like I mean, it's one of those local shuttle cart things, but what pushes it into the realm of being worthy of Lemon's Car Spotting is the full Old Spice livery.
Yeah. Oh, 6-door limo cart is what's happening there.
Now, this would not be legal for a Lemon's race. However, in whatever state this is, it's got some sort of license plate, which maybe means it's street legal, which means you can bring it on a Lemon's rally.
Yeah. This is Fritz Armstrong, which means it's in Chicago. I think on the left side of that license plate is, because I've seen enough license plates here, that says livery, but I've never seen a yellow one. So it makes me wonder if it's some like special cart license thing.
Right. Like it's a limo, but it's limited to a very specific set of regulations.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you live in one of those states that has freedom, I'd say buy this, register it for the street, bring it on a Lemon's rally.
Yeah. The slow moving vehicle sign is a nice touch on
the
well.
Amish triangle.
Yeah.
All right.
Good start.
And Old Spice livery, very applicable to a Lemon's race.
That's right, because we all stink. That is definitely true.
Indeed. It's a Valiant convertible.
Convertible, man.
Down the street from the old Lemon's HQ, there was some dude who had two of these, a lime green one and I believe a black one. But kind of from that early 60s Mopar era where they were really just on one, as they say, where they were doing weird and cool stuff and most of it kind of worked.
I don't know if I've ever seen a convertible one of these in real life, but the way that the belt line, not even the belt line, the body line kind of just goes to the fin works way better without a roof. Gotta say.
Yeah. Because the whole back section is sort of just flat. It's kind of cool.
These were unibody cars, I think, and I'm just going to go ahead and guess that the driving experience of this is probably a little soft,
slightly flexible. Maybe I was thinking that the wood and tarp was for rain, but maybe it's actually structural.
Yeah. It looks like they've done some seat swapping. Also, it's like
there's some purple velour out of like a Cordoba or something.
Yeah.
Although, what am I saying? Cordoba wouldn't have had velour. What am I talking about?
Yeah.
We all know what kind of upholstery those have.
That's right. Man, does this have reverse lights too? I feel like that was atypical in 1963 or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. It's got what looks like reverse lights, and it's very possible that that's one of those special options that Mopar guys will freak out about.
Yeah,
making this a one of three, orange convertible with reverse lights and wood.
Man, what can it do?
Indeed. All right. Oh man. Whoop whoop. Oh man. Well, we know about the Jugga Lambo, which is the Grand Prix GTP. Well, this is like the Jugga Levo, right?
Yeah. The Jugga Lotus. Yeah, something like that. Ooh, Z24 Cavalier.
Yep.
Man, I used to see these with body kits all over the place, and this is the only one I've probably ever seen with a complete non-broken body kit, which makes it pretty rare in and of itself. Those are like the universal wheel also, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's like the pet. Oh, yeah, where it's got 20 different holes and it'll just work on whatever. Yeah. Boy, I mean, I hate to be a coastal elite, but I remember traveling to the Midwest in the 90s and seeing stuff like this and being like, God, they don't know about Hondas here. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, there was, I mean, how to explain? Let's see. A Honda was expensive for one, and there was the myth until, probably depending on where you live, until now, that you can't get parts for Japanese cars in the United States. Because Honda's dealer network is not very extensive, as we all know.
Exactly. And they don't speak English there, I've heard.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was like, well, obviously, if I'm going to buy a compact car, I have to buy an American one. And, General Motors makes stuff. I don't know. There's certainly some decisions being made. I mean, these cars were absolutely filthy cheap to buy and filthy cheap to maintain for a long time, which is why you still see them periodically in the Midwest.
Yeah. Well, and then, I mean, I don't know my Cavalier eras too well, but it might have had an Ecotech, which those seem to hold together okay.
Yeah, this is towards the end of the production run. The last couple years was all Ecotech, but I mean, I feel like up until like 2002 or so, you could still buy Pushrod 4 in one of these.
An Iron Duke?
No, it was the, what was it called? I don't remember. They put them in Chevy pickup trucks also in the base model.
Yeah.
Dude, terrible motor. We've had a couple in Lemons, and they sound like industrial machinery running away.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, called the shop foreman. The water pump's gone on the race.
Exactly.
It's a full race Lemons Cavalier.
Yeah. This thing's spectacular, though. It is ready to race. Just put some numbers on that sucker.
Yeah. As is. Totally. All right. Oh man, I actually saw this on Chris's Instagram. This is Chris Blizzard, Lemons Series champion, and this is a vehicle called a Tri-Magnum, which is based on a Honda Goldwing. And it's obviously one of the several cars of this era, or whatever, vehicles of this era that were created by some mad scientist who was smart. He was the smartest guy in the room, and he had figured out a way to beat the system, and this was the result.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I look at it and I just think this guy has it figured out. Like this person, they know it all. Like, we should be listening to them on all design decisions.
Yeah.
What? So many questions. I mean, it looks like a trailer. I mean, for one.
Yeah.
Is it 2 seats in tandem? Like, how does this work?
I don't know. Although the seating arrangement reminded me, in talking about people who beat the system, there was a guy early on in the days of Lemons. He might have even been a Lemons racer, but he showed up at Lemons races and he had beaten the system by designing a vehicle that was essentially like a Scion XB that was half the width, and it had tandem seating. So it was a 4-wheeled box-shaped car. It was not a motorcycle, but it was about, yay wide. And how it beat the system was it was then, in his estimation, legal for lane splitting in California, like a motorcycle, which I would have liked to have seen that, I guess.
Yeah.
That's just super narrow Scion XBs splitting lanes, beating the system.
I think I've seen a picture or two of that. It was orange, right?
Yeah.
We'll have to dig that up for a future episode, that picture. But man, so Honda Goldwing based, fine. I guess that makes sense. It makes enough power that probably isn't like slow, but it's certainly dangerous in every aspect.
Oh boy, and how he's going to kill me because I've actually driven this car. Now I can't remember what it was, but Mike Harrell, watcher of Lemon's Car Spotting and weird car owner / Lemon staffer up there in the Pacific Northwest. He has a car like this that was powered by like a Tecumseh 1-cylinder motor. The what is it? The HMV?
It's not the KV1 because he has a
KV1. No, it's called the model was the Freeway, and the company was HMV or something like that. And it was like high or HM, the high mobility. Anyway, it was totally cut from this same cloth, where it was like somebody who'd beaten the system. You'll get 100 miles to the gallon. The government doesn't want you to have this vehicle, et cetera, et cetera. And it had like this 1-cylinder, effectively like a lawnmower engine inside a completely sealed fiberglass thing. And you're in there and you're like, I'm going to burst into flames and die at any minute. But Mike, to his credit, I mean, he drove that thing a distance to the ridge on the road. So kudos to him.
Yeah. You know, it turns out that the government doesn't want you to have it because if you run into like a fence post, you die.
Yeah. No, the government doesn't want you to have it because there's so many different ways where tax money is going to go for your permanent lifetime care for the whole thing that happened to you.
Right.
That's their motivation, not the conspiracy part of it.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, it's the booty patrol. Now, what's the deal with this? Because we have seen at least 3 different iterations of the booty patrol in many locations. There was a Toyota Cressida-based booty patrol here in the Bay Area. This appears to be an actual Interceptor, Taurus Interceptor, which, by the way, kind of a cool car. I mean, I know they don't have the cachet of a Crown Vic because it's not a rear-drive V8, but didn't they have the 3.5 EcoBoost in them?
Yeah, it's basically a show, I think.
Yeah, and an all-wheel drive. I mean, that's a hell of a car. Those things well over 300 horsepower.
Yeah.
But back to the booty patrol. I mean, I guess it's self-explanatory. This here is a Unit 69, obviously.
Obviously, yeah.
So, I'm into it.
Yeah, I mean, I think somebody did it with like it might have been a Crown Vic originally, and like, you know, it looked like a legitimate cop car and said booty patrol on it. So I think there have been many imitators.
This is kind of a cut rate. I like the car. The Taurus is actually a nice choice. But the graphics package, I mean, you need to upgrade the booty patrol game there. Yeah. Anyway, good Lemons theme. If you want to make booty patrol. That's what we should call our corner workers, just collectively.
Booty patrol.
And just you know, when you're approaching a station, pay attention to the booty patrol. Oh man, we've got ourselves an AMC. What?
It's I would guess that's a Concord.
Concord, yeah.
Concord's the same thing as the Eagle, body wise. It just didn't have all-wheel drive.
Didn't have 4-wheel drive. Although this one has like a very subtle drag pack with like big old fat meats in the rear.
Yeah, it's got the tall rear tire.
Yeah.
Mickey Thompson looking thing going on there.
Yeah.
It's interesting choices. I don't know. What do you say about an AMC Concord? I think they were done putting V8s in them at this point, so they were all straight 6. This is early 80s.
This replaced. There was a Hornet wagon before this, and the Hornet that thing's actually legitimately cool. Like styling wise, it's actually pretty neat. And knowing AMC, this car is exactly the same, except it has, you know, the futuristic modern grille that's just 4 square headlights.
That's pretty much it. Yeah. AMC stopped changing anything after like 1974, so you had to speed it. Was a Gremlin that they just, you know, smoothed the back end.
Right.
The Hornet became the Concord, which became the Eagle.
Yeah.
And I might be forgetting one that was also sold around the same time. But basically, they were like, yeah, we have one thing. Let's just make it. It was the K car, but with old stuff, basically.
Right. Well, and in sort of General Motors fashion, it was so old that it had gone from being outdated to being like good and proven, sort of in the same way that the pushrod 350, they kept it because it was what they had and it was cheap, but then eventually they engineered the supporting componentry to the point where it was like, oh no, actually that's a good arrangement. I think the same is sort of true here, where this probably has like a 258 straight six, which is like technology from 1912. Right. But, by this point, like, God, there was nothing wrong with it. Like, it would just run and run and run. But I remember, my dad worked for the state of California, and they eventually had no state vehicles for him to use for the department that he was in. But I remember when I was a kid, it was like the tail end of you must use an official car for an official business before they were like, dude, just drive your Mazda Miata. We don't care. Yeah. But the cars they had were AMC Concord sedans with stickers in that said for official state of California use only. Man. That was good times.
That was some AMC sales guys banner moment with selling all of the
contract
of California.
Yeah. God, there's got to be one of those floating around somewhere. I vaguely remember them being sort of a lime green color, like probably because they sold the same one to the Forest Service.
Yep, that's exactly it. Yeah.
But man, if anybody finds one of those with the sticker in it, that would be amazing. That's a treasure hunt for everybody.
Yeah. The 258, by the way, became the Jeep 4-liter and used it well into the 2000s.
Legendary motor. And think it never equaled, according to Jeep fans.
That's also true. Yeah. I think that engine was first developed in the 50s, so it was literally a 50-year production of that thing.
Yeah. No, a good friend of Lemon's, Bill Mertz, sadly had his Jeep CJ7 stolen, but it came with a 258, and he swapped to a 4-liter for the fuel injection and all that. And that thing just ran and then ran off. So, probably still driving around in Mexico or something. Yeah. All right. Next. Back to the Juggalo. Oh, is that a Malibu Maxx?
Absolutely. With graphics. Man, a lot.
Graphics. Now, we've talked about this. The Malibu Maxx is the classic General Motors, like it's Max with 2 X's. And you just picture just a bunch of completely out of touch old coots what are the kids doing these days? Well, they say things like to the max. Yeah. And this is like 2004 when they're saying this, right? And it's just like so incredibly out of touch. I mean, same thing, Cruise with the Z. Like, kids will think that's hip. Like, that's way hipper than Civic. Like, God, what are you guys doing? And then what was the other car we were talking about the other day where they had an opportunity to do 2 X's or 2 Z's and they didn't? And it was like, you guys you're all the way there and you just didn't get through the
it's a more mature brand now.
That also reminds me, I don't know if they're still running. I screen capped this from the Lemons registration system. There was a team that had 3 cars, a 3-car team, and then like the first one, 1990 BMW E30. Second one, 1991 BMW E30. Third one, 1995 S10 Extreme. That was their 3-car team.
Yeah, that's the Boston Whiners.
That's right.
I think they got rid of the S10 Extreme, but which is it had the whole body kit. It was the whole thing. Some dude in Alabama is wondering how that got into Lemons and what kind of horrible mistakes were made for it to end up that way.
Yeah, so. Right. That's my dream car.
That's right. Oh man, the Max though.
Back to the Max. So it's a hatchback. It's got to be.
Yeah. It was an attempt at a wagon without. Christ, why would you even do it the way they did it though? Like, you can't actually put things in the back because it's angled at such an extreme angle. There's no roof clearance.
Did you say extreme?
Yes.
Yeah,
You got to make the the X with your arms.
Yeah. Extreme.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know what they were trying to. I mean, I guess this is slightly before the everything must be an SUV era, so they weren't in that zone. And I guess, but maybe it's after the wagons aren't cool. Or yeah. So we're in the.
I think I got it. I got it.
All right. I'm stumbling over myself, so please.
GM finally heard of this thing that was catching on with all the kids called hot hatches.
Oh.
And they decided that their hot hatch was going to be, they couldn't do it out of the Cavalier because they did that before, Yeah. But, the Malibu's the next one up. I mean, it makes sense that you would make that your hot hatch.
Yeah, and it is for an older, more mature crowd that still with youthful spirit. So if you grew up with hot hatches but need more room, you can still be super cool.
Yeah,
with the Malibu Maxx.
That's right. I love that they obviously painted the door, but not the door handle. They put the door handle on later.
That's actually more attention to detail than I would have expected from this. It's actually a pretty professionally done deal.
Yeah. That is the guy who, that's probably a parts runner for a body shop or something.
Right.
They did it to see if the paint worked or something. But
yeah.
Amazingly, we've never had one of these in Lemons, and B, they made an SS trim of this.
They did. Yeah, I was actually aware of that. I don't know what it entails.
6 or I don't know what's in it. It's 240 horsepower, whatever it is. I mean,
if it's that last version of the pushrod V6, that's that's the hot ticket. Yeah. Well, there you go. Theme already done. Malibu Maxx.
Yeah.
All right. Carcoon. Oh, dude, it's one of those. What do you call these? It's the super short ass steel convertible.
Yeah,
oh, man.
This was a thing in the late 70s, early 80s, like shortening cars, making.
Yeah.
I don't understand it, but it was like trope.
Yeah, well, and this was not factory, but it was pseudo, like, like whoever made the hearses or the limos or whatever. So it was like kind of a big company did these conversions. Yeah. And I think the reason these are so short is like it's based on a 4-door sedan, and they were like, how do we make it 2-door? Oh, I know, just cut the 4-door out. The proportions that result are special.
I love that the trunk is full size. I think that's my favorite part.
Yeah,
the trunk and the hood are both full sized, and therefore the passenger compartment is about 1/8 of the entire length of the car.
Oh man, I just love stuff like this. My favorite Volkswagen kit car, which everybody has a favorite. For a long time, it was the Laser 917, but then it really got replaced by the miniature 1970 Camaro for exactly this reason. It's like the proportions are just so toe up that it just like brings a smile to your face. Yeah. Oh man, that's great. Bring one of these to Lemons. I mean, you saw how they made it. So, if you can't find one of the quote unquote original ones, you can make it yourself.
That's extremely true. Yeah. This is a 70s Seville, I think.
Yeah.
They were still rear wheel drive. Yeah, Phil loves pointing out that this is basically a Camaro underneath, which is probably not true, but it's an X body of some sort. So there's things bolt onto it. In some fashion. So you can make a performance version of one.
Well, does this have the HT 4100 in it?
Nah, before that.
Oh, that's too bad. The HT 4100, of course, is a V8 that has a horrible reputation, deservedly, on the street, and is inexplicably fine in Lemons based on a very small sample size.
Yeah, kind of great, actually. Yeah.
So, anyway, you could do it. I mean, we don't care what you swap into this thing. If you bring this, it's a loophole. So, don't worry about that. All right, that's cool. I like that. All right. Okay. Abandoned Avantis. We're back to Avanti town. Oh, man. I said it a million times, but I've got that neighbor who's got 5 Avantis. I actually saw him driving one the other day. He's got 5 Avantis, a Grandma Keith, and an 80s El Camino two-tone. I mean, he's living the life.
He is living the life, yeah. The notes say these are the Avanti 3s, which is the second attempt at reviving them. I'm sorry, the second failed attempt at reviving them. So,
right. I just realized the one on the right is actually a 4-door. That's not very common, is it?
I don't think so.
I know that my neighbor who has 5 Avantis, those are all just the 2-door. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I assume these were sold with a small block Chevy in them, and I don't know much else about them.
Sold is the other question.
That's a really good question. Yeah, this is the Suzuki problem. Of, kind of a great looking car, probably really functional. How the hell do I buy one?
Surely there wasn't an Avanti dealer, and this is obviously before you could do any kind of direct to consumer internet sales.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't want to go too far off on a tangent. What is the deal with the various reborn Avantis? Like the original is a Studebaker, we know that.
Yeah.
Then what? It was somebody like they did like the classic American car excuse where the marketing was bad. If I were to market it, it will be a smash hit. And then somehow they got the rights to it, something like that.
Yeah, I'm sure you could buy the. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, I'm way out of my depth, but
enlighten us about Avantis in the comment section.
That was also a thing in the late 70s. Basically, nobody had any idea what to do about anything. So you had the shortened, whatever you had. Third-party companies building convertibles.
Right.
Somebody decided the Avanti needed to come back, and then somebody was like trying to revive the Packard name on like Ford LTD chassis or something, but it looks like the Excalibur, like it's just way over the top with everything.
Well, and don't forget the guy that was making the Tri-Magnum. He was also around in 1979.
That's a good point.
It's before we were born. We don't know what the heck was going on. Tell us about that.
Yeah.
All right. Last up.
Yeah.
It's a Lada or similar. Oh no, it's I cheated. It is a Vaz. Yet another Fiat 128 knockoff
with no interchangeable parts.
Yeah.
This one coming from Latvia. I assume there's a fair number of Vazes and Ladas still circulating around Latvia. I mean, they built the Lada until 2008 or something.
Right.
So,
so what is the difference between a Lada and a Vaz?
Probably the factory that built them. I don't actually know.
I guess so. Different.
We mentioned it before recently on here that you could buy these in Canada, so you can find them, on Kijiji for lemons.
Yeah.
There are some Moskviches, I think, that maybe were sold in Canada. You could.
Are those also Fiat based?
No, they're totally different. They're rear engined.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I don't think they're air cooled, but I don't know. Any Soviet era car in lemons is you're in good shape for an IOE. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely. All right, I've got the hooptiest. Looking at my list,
man.
One of the notes just says "whoop whoop," which I assume is that Cavalier.
Yeah.
I can't say that that's that hoopty because it was in pretty good condition. No, the hooptiest for this week has got to be the Tri-Magnum.
Tri-Magnum,
because you've taken a Goldwing, which is a pretty good motorcycle, and then you've added like a Disneyland grade fiberglass thing.
Oh man, that's a great call. That it looks like the monorail.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's yeah, the futuristic circa 1970 whatever. And then I mean, you know, it's sorry, Mike Harrell, but with the Goldwing motor, it's got to drive a lot better than your freeway. But it just can't be good, can it? I don't think so. It's my Hooptie's pick of the week.
Yeah, you know, I normally something of this grade would easily be something we want to see in Lemons, but we couldn't since it is only 3 wheels.
Right.
You know, is in the rules that you have to have 4, at least when you start. A lot of them end up with fewer than that.
So, sorry, quick aside on that. That is a rule. You must originate with 3 wheels. There was a team a while back who had thought they had beaten the system with the idea of taking a Geo Metro, retaining all 4 wheels, hollowing out the inside, and then just putting an entire motorcycle on the inside, including, so the motorcycle was still the drive wheel. So there's this 5th wheel in the middle, but like an entire intact motorcycle is inside the car with you, which John Pagel gave that a resounding no, but I appreciated the outside the box thinking. Anyway, continue.
I mean, no further points to make. Yeah, can't make that our Lemons build. It really puts us down to 2 General Motors products, and as much as desperately as I would love to see a Malibu Maxx, I got to go with the Shorty Seville because
I was going to say, man, if I was picking, I know what I'd pick.
Yeah, I mean, there's almost not enough room to build a roll cage inside of it. You would have to build the cage outside, unless it's a convertible, which it looks like it actually maybe is. Whatever's happening there, this is spectacular.
Oh, and it's eminently doable. Like I say, you don't need to find the original one. What I would do, there was that other weird, possibly third-party built Cadillac of this same era that had the faux spare tires behind the front tire, you know, like a Duesenberg or whatever. Right. What I've always wanted to see is the combination of the two, the Shorty Seville with the tires and the fenders. I mean, that's do that for sure.
And as long as you're at it, throw the Continental kit on the back. You know, just go all out.
Just do it. Oh, man. It would be just so doable and affordable. I mean, we're not talking about high dollar modifications here.
Yeah.
The
70 Seville, not a real high demand automobile.
Yeah,
so,
that's right.
There you go.
All right. Well, your mission is clear until we're simultaneous to your building of the Shorty Seville for Lemons. Go on to Instagram, keep tagging your photos, and we'll talk about them. Oh, so good. This is the kind of dude who will put this for sale as a rare thing for like $48,000.
Yeah. Little wheelbase, big, awesome.